Hello, my name is Francis. I decided that I would actually do something to help to give some information, I guess, do something by giving a practical demonstration on what I've been using for years and years and years to help me through tricky situations. And in doing so, I hope you will watch this video. You may want to turn it off, that's fine. You may want to even try and do the the things that I'm going to show you in this video, because it's about taking this lockdown and actually doing something about it, and using this unique opportunity we've all got. So all of us, because some of us are working, I'm working still, but hey, this unique opportunity that we're here at home, we've got time, and we've got this whole bundle of stuff that we think, yay, we can do it, and slowly but surely you watch EastEnders, you've got your box sets, you're just absolutely couch potato. Oh dear, I have got all these things that I could possibly have done, can do, want to do. So I'm going to teach you a technique, a self-help technique, so that you can use this, so that you can formulate what you can do and actually get it done and have action, rather than this whole big wow stuff going on in your brain. So why can I talk about this? Well, firstly, because I learned how to do this off of a coach of mine when I probably in 2006. I used this technique, and what this technique does is it frames your life and it makes you think about the things that you're doing. So I've done this for lockdown, and I've called it, and this is the title of the video, Operation Lockdown. Okay, so we're going to do something with this time we've got. As I say, you can turn the video off, you can listen, or you can give it a go. So why can I talk about this? Well, in 2017, now this is relevant, I'm not going to spout, oh, I'm brilliant, oh, this is what happened to me and I'm just so fantastic at everything. In 2017, I decided to start my own company. Now this is relevant, okay? And I left the business I was in, had a pot of money and said, right, brilliant, I'm going to start a business. Flew off 100 miles an hour using everything that I knew to set this business up. So I went, yay, great, this is fantastic, 2017, it's going brilliantly, got loads of work to do. Oh dear, I'm starting to lose money. Oh, youch, it's getting a bit tougher. Damn, what do I do? Help. And this line here, it's probably what you'd call a off the cliff moment. I had a complete mental breakdown, and I mean absolutely. I had the Samaritans on speed dial on my phone, and for a whole week I was phoning them every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and there was just one phrase that I kept saying to myself. So at the end of 2017, I was like this, my world got smaller and smaller and smaller, because I just gave up everything to do this without a plan, and I just sat there, and what came out, the only thing was 3 words. What do, it's 4 words, I do. Okay? So mentally, I was completely broken. My family didn't understand, and I didn't know which way to turn. As I say, I was getting suicidal, all the rest of it. So for a whole week, and that's all I kept saying. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Just continually. So suffice to say, that's my grow a business curve. Okay. Pretty drastic. Didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because I didn't have a plan. I didn't say, right, if I do it a constructive way, then I might have just not flown into it and then fallen off the edge. So what happened? So here we are, beginning of 2018. Here's 2019 and today. So in 2018, beginning of, that's where I had my breakdown. Okay, boom. And I'm going to use a different colour, just so that I can use a different colour. So you can see what. So in 2018, I struggled and I got back. And I got back on board. And I started to think again. And I started to do things. And I was just getting back to where I was when I had the breakdown. And as I say, this is relevant because this is the backstory on why I'm doing this. So bear with me. So in 2019, May 2019, so just about a year ago now, boom. Okay, and in fact, I went below the death line and came back again. I had a DVT in my leg, that gave me a pulmonary embolism, my lungs collapsed, I had a heart attack and I died. Brilliant. Luckily, I came back. So in May 2019, after getting myself back after mental illness, I collapsed again. And so, I was in hospital. It took me 2 weeks to get out of bed, 4 weeks after that to even walk to the car park. But I did something different, so that's the point. So I plateaued out here. It was like, my world had died, everything had gone. You could argue, you've got a new life, way. Well, actually, I didn't feel like that because this had happened. I struggled to get there. I didn't have a plan before that. So I used the technique. I immediately used the technique, which I'm going to show you today. I'm not saying lockdown is like a pulmonary embolism and you're dying or it's a breakdown, but I'm saying this technique worked for me when I used it at this point in 2019 to today. So my curve has gone like this, okay? And today, I can happily say I'm back to 100%. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, it worked for me. I'm going to teach you guys, if you are still listening, or you are actually going to try this, this is why it's relevant. So here's today, and I'm continually using this technique, which I did here, and I'm going to carry on. And hopefully things will go a bit better. So, what do I do? That was my question. So, what I'm going to do is take you through a self-help exercise, because that's all this is. I'm not going to stand here and tell you what you've got to do. This is just a way of thinking about what we're doing differently. In lockdown specifically, Operation Lockdown. So it's a way of giving you a clear and concise set of steps to do over the weeks, step by step, to pass the time, to get you through on what you see as important. And you can use this anywhere in your life. So you can use it for your job, you can use it for a career project. So that's my story. And so now, let's get a new chart up. And let's say, what are we going to do? So create your own Operation Lockdown. Absolutely superb. Give it a go. Plenty of blue tack. Good stuff. Right. So Operation Lockdown. And it is, what I'm going to show you is a way of creating steps for getting through lockdown. And that is in two ways here, the key things to it. What is important? This is what you need to start thinking now. You're going to do all the work here. What is important in your life, okay, in lockdown? And it could be, it might not just be the whole of your life, what am I looking at, what do I need to look at that's really important? It could be, what you're doing in lockdown. You've got 3 weeks. We know we've got 3 weeks. It could be 6 weeks. It could be another 12 weeks. But you might want to concentrate on your job when you get back to your job or you're still working. You might want to use this to look at your career or any project that you've got. One of my projects that I've been working on, I use this technique to help me filter my brain and focus on what's important. We're sorting my summer house out, which when you're having a pulmonary embolism and you can't walk, it kind of gets stepped in your back mind. So it's looking at, so start thinking now about what is important in your life, job, career, project. We're using lockdown, and I've used this technique much before lockdown, and I've gone through it so I can show you the examples. So number 2, you're going to look at and find out what is important in your life or during lockdown, what's important, and then what you can do to achieve it, achieve the best from it. Okay, so what have we got? Yeah, I think all this stuff's important. There's loads of stuff, my wife just was furloughed, so she's come back going, wow, there's all these amazing things I can do, but where do I start? What do I do? So it's finding out what's important out of all that scramble, and then secondly, what you can do to achieve it, to get the best from it, the best from lockdown. This is a way where you will just organise all your thoughts, ideas, and do. What can you do about it? So it's about taking action. Now, I can't do things for you, so you're going to have to listen, work your way through it, and then you will find out what you can do and you'll be motivated to do it. So, step 1. Step 1, as I say, so step 1, what are the important areas in your life today, not tomorrow, not 3 months ago, not whenever. So today. So I want you to start thinking about the things that are important in your life today. So I should have said it earlier, but I'm going to say it now. Get an A4 pad and a pen and get a couple of blank sheets of paper. So arm yourself. Here we go. Blank sheets of paper, pen, as if you didn't know what they were, and a pad. You might want to use just blank sheets of paper. So what I need you to do through this self-help exercise to get you through lockdown, help you through the isolation, and get your thoughts organised, is to write down on the sheet of paper as many things as you can about the important areas of your life. So don't think about it, just flood that piece of paper. Now I'm going to take you through just one section of what you're going to do through your life today, and you can duplicate this. So you're going to chuck everything down, and we're going to grab one of those, or you grab one of those, take it and use it through this exercise that I'm going to show you in a second. So just throw them all out there on this piece of paper. What are the things that I've done? Okay, what did I put down? I threw that, yeah, I've got to sort the garden out. Sound familiar? My summer house, I've already mentioned that. My family, that's really important. Why is my family important? Because I don't see them. So what are the things I'm going to put down? I need to see my family, they're important. Why are they important? Well, because I need to be in contact. I can't give my grandchildren cuddles, etc. What else? What else is important? My shed's a mess. Maybe I want to work on the shed. It's a complete mess. My hobby is, all my stuff's in there for my hobby. Let's organise it so that when we get out of lockdown, it's all ready to go, so I don't have to think about that, and so on and so forth. It could be anything. Clear your loft out. That was one I put down, because I've got like 10 years of living here, stuck in the loft, well, what a great opportunity to do it, because I get 4 days a week where I can do that. When am I going to get this opportunity? I won't harp on about that anymore. So start writing stuff down. What I want you to do is grab one of those. If you're doing it, say, for your career or your job, what areas of your job do you want to work on? You might, a language, working on a language might be important to you, or computer skills, some of the computer skills. We're talking about filling that void, all that confusion. So, what are the important areas in your life as of today? So that's step one. Okay. Now, moving on. So, when you're doing that, think about these headings as well. What do you want to cure? What do you want to be better at? So to help you is, what do you want to sort out? How do you want to get organised? What do you want to organise? What do you need to be clearer about? What's really important? And what do you want to do or be? It's an opportunity for, I want to be that person who comes out of lockdown and actually did something and didn't watch box sets for 12 weeks. Normally, this would take you 24 hours where you fill the piece of paper, you carry it around with you, and then you go, oh yeah, what about that? And you write it down so that you fill it up. Okay, so that's it. So that's step one. Okay, so what you're doing is flooding this piece of paper with all the things that are going on during lockdown, and all the things that you want to be, want to do, want to have, etc. So that. Now, this is the most important flip piece of paper I'm going to put up. Now, this is the technique that I learnt 14 years ago, and I have used it with sales teams, with business problems, with individuals on one-to-one coaching and help and guidance. So I know it like the back of my hand, which is really helpful, but I've also got some notes, and it's a technique. You may have seen it, you may not. And I'm not going to apologise for the rough way I'm going to do this, because it's about doing something. So what I want you to do, take your A4 piece of paper, mine's A2, and I want you to draw a circle in the middle. Now it's important that you get the scale of this correct. So thinking of your A4 piece of paper, I want you to draw a circle in the middle. And there's your lockdown life. Yay! It's a blank circle. Of course it is, because you haven't got organised and you haven't worked out what you're going to do. Well, you have, but what we're going to do is try and frame your little circle. So, as I say, normally you take 24 hours, you'd fill your list out, and then you'd come back, and then you'd have probably, and this is what I ask you to do, 8 key areas that you want to work on. Okay, 8 key areas. 8 works really well, because it kind of forces you into a number. 3, well, that's okay. I'd say 6, maybe you might want to do 10. Don't get over ambitious, but it's all about having 8 areas. And I like it because it fits in a circle. There's 4, and there's 8. So I want you to draw those lines. Now, I'm not going to tell you all of mine, and what I'm going to do is, when I did this 2 weeks ago, because I do it regularly, and if I've got any project, people who know me will know this, is that I use this regularly. So anyway, I'm going to take you through one of these. So what you're going to do is grab just one of your headings. Now I'm going to use health. So let's just grab that and write it into the piece of pie there. That's one of the things, and you've got 7 more to put in there. For the purposes of showing you this technique today, we're just going to use 1, because we haven't got 3, 4, 5 hours. And as I say, it's good to break off and do each one separately. So health. So that's one, and you're going to have others in there. I'll just chuck one more in. In fact, one of the areas was I'm in lockdown with my wife. It's not that I'm going to work on my wife. It's that I've got to work. I want to work on our relationship. It's a good opportunity to do that. So when we come further through the wheel, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be doing to improve that relationship, but I'm basically, she was in there. It's one of the important things that I'm going to work with. And another one, I've already said it, family. So these may have come up as your important ones, probably have, they tend to be, especially at this time, because you're locked away. Family could be your immediate family, or it could be your further away family. So, are you with me so far? 8 areas. You're going to concentrate on one. But when you do this for real, and when you go away afterwards, if you're going to do it, you don't have to do it. You can watch it. You can switch off now, and you may have switched off ages ago. In which case you're not listening. Anyway, so we've got 8 areas. We're going to work on health. So, what's it done? What's it done? Well, immediately you've come up with 8 areas, and you've probably thought about everything. So you framed your lockdown life. So this is your lockdown life. And now we're going to build it. And you might be thinking, I don't need a pad and paper and write down all the stuff. Or is it going to tell me to do things every day? And it's about you trying this out. So, so you'd have framed your lockdown life. So your A4 list. An example of this is when I had my pulmonary embolism and collapsed with a heart attack. The areas of my life here that I was putting down that I wanted to work on was obviously health. The other one was work, because I wasn't working anymore, which was quite traumatic because I was flat out working in the events business and doing all sorts of really wonderful things around London. But by doing it, I had a pathway, a way of framing where I was, so I stopped worrying about things I shouldn't be worrying about. What I didn't do when I had my breakdown was do this, and I tried to take it in the whole world, and it was too much, and it got smaller and smaller. So this kind of gives you a way of framing it all, and minimum what it will do is make you think, well, yeah, this is it, this is what's important. But we're going to move on to various other things there. So we're going to go on health, because that's quite important with me, because I only just got back to 100% and just about working full time after 1 year, I would say. So what we're going to do now, what I need you to do, and you can take away and do the other areas, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you, we're going to work on health. And what I need to say to myself is, and which is what I did for this exercise, and you need to say for yourself, so this is an example, what is my health like today, and where do I want it to be, where I think, wow, yeah, that's the best I can be, and that's exactly where I need to be. And then score it out of 10 where you are today against where you really want to be. Now, I know where I want to be, which is I used to run 2.1k 3 times a week, and I used to do a 10-minute core fitness routine, which made me really fit, which I haven't done or hadn't done since I collapsed, because I just couldn't do it. So I've started it, getting back to it. So I'm about a 3. So what I want you to do is, on your one area that you're going to work with today, is just do that. With my wife, I've got a great relationship with my wife, I have to say that. And my family, well, not as good. mainly because my daughter moved away, but you know, there's ways in which I can improve that. So I want you to score each area. So we're just working on one, as I say, and we're going to do that from now on. So health. That's it for now, for this bit. So that's it. Do that, score them out of 10. Fantastic. So you'll get a whole pie, but we're just doing the one area. So next step, so we're into the next step of processing this. You scored each out of 10. Just to say that back on, you know, where best you want to be, it's a bit like today's 10 is tomorrow's 5. So for example, if you did this wheel in 3 months' time, I might be able to run 2k, 2.1k. I know because it's a full circuit around where I live. But I might think, wow, I'm feeling a lot better now, feeling a lot fitter. So I might want to run the next 5k when it appears, when we're all allowed out of here. So that's my thinking there, and that's how you need to be thinking, is that 10 today of doing 2.1k, maybe 5 tomorrow, because I could then think in 3 months' time, I want to be running 5k. So just think about that, which just brings this whole thing into why it's good for the future. So, next step, we've done that, health, 2 or 3 out of 10, because I'm really unfit and I haven't been doing stuff for ages, and I really need to work on that area of my life, as well as my wife and family and other things, maybe my summer house garden, etc. And I want you to draw another circle. So that's your A4 piece of paper. Get that right. So here we go, bit of energy. We're going to make the pieces of pie a bit bigger. And what we're going to do is So here we go. The next step is we've drawn a new circle and extended the lines. What I want to do is, what I need to ask is, you need to ask yourself, what would 10 look like, feel like, or an outcome you would like? So be really specific about this. What is it that tells you that you've made it, that 10 out of 10? So for me, under health, so let's just give you a hand here. When I know that I've done my 2 points, so being specific. So when I've made it, I can run 2.1k 3 times a week. Okay. And complete my 10-minute core fitness routine. What have I done? I've gone, health is important. I'm at a 3. When I get to 10, that's what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to be like. And that's the outcome. So that now is my goal. That's what I'm aiming for. Now, to make this a bit more, when you know you are there, what I want you to do is get yourself into the goal. So what's it going to be like running a 2.1k 3 times a week? So for me, because I haven't done this for 2 years because I've been so ill, I won't go on about that anymore. For me, my goal is I can see myself, and I'm putting myself right in the goal now, I can see myself, and this is one moment I had, it was about 10 o'clock in the evening, midsummer, so it was still light, it was nice and warm, and I'd just done my second lap to finish my 2.1k, and I was running across the field. The sunlight was coming across from the right hand side just as the sun had gone down. I felt nice and warm, my legs were really fit, I wasn't tiring, and I just was going across the fields. I'm so lucky to live near some fields, and I'm just running across them, and I felt amazing. So that's me getting in my goal, and whatever your goal is at this point, get into that goal, make it real. Where was the sun shining? You know, where do you want the sun to be shining? How do you want to feel while you're doing it? What does it look like? You know, the smells of the grass as I was running along, and you know, what you can see, well, and how you feel about it. So get right into your goal and put it down in that section. Okay. Next, as you can guess, we're going to draw another circle. So again, get the dimensions right. You don't want to be running out of paper. So extend the lines. We'll do that again. As I say, after this, you can go away and work on all your other areas, or you might just be listening and not do it, which is fine, or you might have turned off, you might want to switch off now. But I would say just give it a go, minimum listen. So, why is it important? The why. Why is it important to do this? You know the yeah, I'm going to go running. It's January the 3rd. Oh, I've gone to the gym and I'm going to get fit again. Great. And then by 3 weeks later, you haven't even got your kit out and washed it ready for going, and you don't do it. You had all that intention of getting fit. You weren't doing stuff. You know, you weren't in a position to, and it's gone. So what I want you to do is start to think, why is it important? Why do you want those outcomes? Why do I want to run 2.1k? I'm quite happy sitting here. I can watch the telly quite happily, not being fitter than I am. But what about the future? What about getting out of lockdown? Why do you want to be fitter for that? Why do you want to, you know, what's the purpose of it? What's the purpose of me doing that? So instead of labouring it a bit more, I want to be, and this is absolutely what I want to be. I want to be fit enough to work full time. That's why. And what I mean by that is, I've only just, the last 3-4 months, been able to cope with part-time, so I want to get fit enough to be able to work full-time. Therefore, do my events, because it's quite a rigorous job to do. I want to earn pounds. That's why. Because I can earn money doing events rather than a desk job. That was the case. And I want to complete my event this year. I've got an event to do, and I've rescheduled it for September. Am I fit enough? Well, if I sit on the sofa for 12 weeks, no, I'm not going to be fit enough, and I'll let people down. I don't want to do that. I want to be in top form. I want to feel fit. I want to feel like I used to. What motivation is that, eh? And we're all too good about what I call the story of why not. Okay? Why I don't want to do it. Well, I don't want to do it because it's a bit tough out there. You know, I've got to wash my kit to go running, my shoes are worn out. That's why not I should do it. But by putting yourself and saying, that's my motivation, and that for me is really big because that's my future, and I set up a business to be able to do this, and I love doing it. There's my motivation. So when you do this section, which you're going to do now, or you're doing now, I like to break the word motivation into 2 words: the motive to take action. So it's your motive to take the action that you're going to take to be able to achieve those things. Lovely. So it's all about doing something about it and taking action because you're off and you've got time and you really wanted to do it the day you got home and you got so excited. Now you know why you're doing it. Super. So if you do all 8, imagine that. Imagine the power of that. And I've done that. So you're going to do that one. Next, draw another circle, but we don't have to do that because we can now draw the lines to the edge of the page. of our lockdown life. And here we go. So we've got the area we're going to work on. We've got the next step, which is where we are today and what does 10 look like. And then we've got specifically that 10 and the motive behind why we should be doing it. So get into those goals, understand why you want to do it. So mine's pretty strong there on that one. So you're going to do something about it. So in this last section on the sheet here, we're going to extend the lines to the edge of the page. We're going to, now, I want you to write down, this is the key part, this is all about action. It's about your action, it's not me telling you what to do or saying I'm brilliant at stuff. As I said at the beginning, this is about you taking action. And what is it you would do today under that section that you've been working on today? Just one thing that you could do today. And then another thing that you could do in the next 24 hours, the next week, or the next month to move you closer to be able to do the goal that we set ourselves here, which is running a 2.1k 3 times a week and complete my 10-minute core fitness routine every day. What am I going to do about it? So, number 1, find my exercise routine. It's buried, it's 2 years old, it's stuck somewhere, but I know it works. So I'm going to go and find it. Rooting around in the loft, I don't know, it's in a box somewhere. And what that does is it builds me up to the 2k. Or 2.5k if I want to do that. What do I want to do next? Write it, print it, and stick it on the fridge. Brilliant. Why am I going to do that? Because it's in my face every day. Every time I look at it, I'll think, yes, and I'll get fitter and I'll get to be able to work full time. And being full time means I can do that event, and that'll be my premier event. And it's in my face, it's on the fridge. Raid the fridge for chocolate and food and cheese. And it will go, whoa, there we are. So, and also I'm going to put numbers on the calendar to build myself up to 30 things that form to 30 repetitions of the core strength fitness program that I wrote for myself. So I'm going to use the calendar to build it up. I'm already doing this, so I won't be a second. Here's my calendar. Ah, it's a little puppy. That's my daughter, thanks very much. So I've written numbers all the way down the right hand side of the piece of paper, and I've been ticking them off every time I've increased my fitness routine by a day. By the time I get to the end of the middle of next month, I'll have 30 repetitions of my fitness routine, which I'll do every month after that. So I'm going to use the calendar, which I'm doing. So I want you to write down, you can do today, tomorrow, the next day, to get yourself set up, started doing something to move you closer to making it happen and to achieve what you want to achieve. Do that for each section and each area. So I've already shown you how to do it from each area. I'll do that for my wife, I've done it for my family, I've done it for all the other areas. Yours may be completely different, probably are. Some may be the same as I've stuck up here. But it's down to you what you want to work on Operation Lockdown. So do that for each section and have a set of actions that you will take. And this is a bit where you go, oh, I've got to write down a to-do list. Well, yeah, you have really. Because you've got to know what you're doing. But think about it. Once you've done it, you know what's important in all the areas in your life for lockdown, the things that you're going to do, why it's important to do it. Also, you'll have a whole list of stuff that you can do, and you will find, and I'll step you forward on this, when you've done it, you've decluttered your mind And so what I need you to do, or what I want you to do, is then type up each action. I've got mine. And again, you might think, oh, what a saddo, he's made a list of things he's going to do. I don't care. My motivation's so much that I really want to get these done. Why do I want to? Because my life's going to be a bit better coming out of lockdown, because I've got the opportunity. So there's my list. That sticks on my my board in the kitchen. So I'll look at it when making breakfast every morning. Super. That's what I'm going to do. So type up each action. So I've got a list of 8 there. Under each 8 are the things that I'm going to do over the next couple of days, and I've written them all down. And then it's just a case of sticking that up somewhere. Now, before you go with this, we're nearly there. Before you finish there, you've got your list and you stick it up. Here's something I'd like you to do. This is an old coaching technique, but it kind of cements everything that you've done, and it's a good way of staring yourself in the face. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take your list that you've done after all this process, all 8 areas, and you've got it typed up like I've got there. And what I want you to do is I want you to share your thoughts on the 5-minute test. So, what's the 5-minute test? Right, so it's talking to so it's taking your list, talking to your partner and telling them, right, I want you to sit there and be quiet for 5 minutes while I tell you my whole process, how I got through this whole process and why I came up with a list like that and what motivates me to do it. So your partner is going to listen to you say that. Now, if you're working on a business goal or your job or your career, it might be your boss at work. And the key thing is to say, I'm going to do the talking, I'm going to time it for 5 minutes bang on, and I'm going to give it to you. Now, there will be times where you'll pause. So you need to say to the person you're talking to, if I pause, and it could be a long pause while you're processing what you're trying to say, you tell them specifically, explicitly, that they should shut up and not fill the gap with a question or talking. So it's silence, zip their mouth up, gaffer tape, shut up, listen to what I've got to say. What that will do is give you the total freedom to talk it all the way through, take you 5 minutes, and you get your summary. Now, if you're on your own and you can't talk to anybody, the coaching tip here is there's no coach like yourself. You're going to take your list and you're going to stand in front of a mirror, sit in front of a mirror, and you're going to tell yourself all of these things, the whole process, staring at yourself in the mirror and go through the whole thing. It's quite an experience, so just be aware that it's quite strong and powerful when you do this, but do it. So it's cementing everything you've done. So go and do that. Go and do the things I've said. Put them together. Don't do them. Just say, oh, that was rubbish, I'm not going to do that. Just to show you, that's what my will look like. Okay, to get to the list. So yours should end up something like that. So that's my wheel. And as I say, there's my list of stuff to do. And as I've said before, that will declutter your life, hopefully get you through lockdown a bit easier. If it doesn't, hey ho, you've given it a go, you might have learned something. As I say, you can do this and follow it, you can listen to it and go, yeah, fair enough, but you can just switch off at any time. But if you have done it, please feed back to me, give me a call, message me on Facebook, email me, and as I say, my name's Francis, and thank you very much.